Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to Train Simulator. Going to be going ahead and trying the Birmingham Cross City 323 across the city scenario today. So let's see what it tells us. On a nice summer's day, you'll be driving train 2052 from Litchfield, Trent Valley, which is actually I think where we ended the last run, to Bromsgrove. It's lunchtime and the line is pretty quiet, with no delays so far. But I don't know that I believe them because it's still giving me a good amount of difficulty here. So I'm going to be trying to pay attention. Good afternoon. Please release the doors and get the train ready to depart on time at 13:50. Line is quiet at this time and there are no reported problems. So this should be a nice and easy run to Bromsgrove. Have a look at your timetable before departure and have a nice trip. Alright, well before I do that, I'm going to get everything set so that we are ready to go. And then I'll look at my timetable. Alright, so we have a total of 23, so we may just be running this back, similar to what we did. So we're going to go to 1500, which is obviously a little bit faster. So 1353, 1358. I believe I learned on the last one that this is really kind of what we're targeting. So I shouldn't necessarily need to pull this up. It's just I know I have 23 stops, so I've got quite a few. So I'm hopeful. I forget what that is again. Well, that's never good. I see. It's probably because we had things on for too long, so maybe when you're on full power, it's like we don't want you to be doing that. In any event, we're on our way. Looks like we've got one of those signal points there. Alright, so we've got to be at 25 here, so let's not go too crazy. We'll get ourselves kind of at the point where we can do what we need to do, but not be in immediate danger of having a problem. Alright, so let's crank things up. 1353 flat. We're 7 seconds behind, I think. Now 8. So you can see that here and here. I'm almost becoming like I know how to play this sim. It's a little scary. Looks like we're changing again, so I've got to be careful. Alright, I can probably go a little bit quicker. Because we've just got to be down to 20 at that point, and that gives us a little bit of time. So there we go. As we go under the bridge, it looks like. So just being a bit careful. The power one gets us moving a bit too fast, and it looks like we're going to have to stay at 20 till we get to the Litchfield City platform here. So no extra speed, but that's alright. We'll just keep nursing it along, moving along a little quicker. The thing is, you know, we're a few seconds early according to this, and that would be awesome, because I'd love to get some terrific bonuses. Because if I can pad my numbers, and I don't know that that's even possible, because I think basically we can't do that really. Because I'm sure the scenario is built to basically be done right when we need it. Do we only have 2 cars? I suppose it's a lunchtime train, so how many people are really looking to be on the train? But it probably means we hit the platform a lot more readily, so I might want to use that to my advantage, actually. But we'll see how this all plays out, because we got 55 points for a timeliness bonus at the last platform. We will see if it gives us that same thing now. Alright, so I can only go 20, so I need to be careful how quickly I take off from here. That's what I meant. Alright. Again, I kind of panicked a bit, but no need. So I'm a couple seconds ahead. Getting the feel for this a little bit more. Should make sense, just like, you know, even if you're an engineer or anything, I'm sure it works very similarly, that you get familiar with your train. So this is that long gap to Shenstone. Actually, it was before this that we had the TSR's last episode, the temporary speed reductions. So we'll get going here, and then we'll move along. Now we're a little second behind. We were a couple seconds ahead. Got a long way to go, so we've still got some opportunities to make this better. Because obviously we only got 45 last time, so for the timeliness bonus, I just kind of had overlooked that. Alright. Keep it there. Maybe speed up a bit. We're actually falling down. So just with the turn, it looks like it has us going a little bit slower. Definitely better without the rain. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't appreciating that. There we go. Now we can go 60. Still a mile and a half till we get there. Gotta be careful. Let's see, power 1 will speed me up a bit, so I'll just kind of keep nursing it and let it go back down. Pull it up a bit. Whoop, whoop. We're going downhill now. So, you don't want to suddenly go too fast and then have a problem, but obviously, again, I want every bit of speed I can get on a commuter line to stay on time. And obviously there's a little bit of a danger of suddenly catching signals, so do need to be aware of that. But again, we are going 60 and we're coming up on our stop, so we're finally getting to Shenstone, but still a half a mile away. Obviously ahead of around this turn still. Alright, we will start slowing down. So I'm assuming just past that viaduct is our platform. And that does look accurate. So we've got a green signal. See, but at this point, like now I'm on the platform, so I think I can just stop anywhere here. Because my train doesn't have any length, so like I said, I'll use that to my advantage. And then that will get me some extra time. We stopped 9 seconds ahead of schedule. Of course, we've got whatever that is, 0.3 miles, 0.03 miles from the end of the platform that we're going to have to travel. That's somewhat unplanned time in the next leg, but it should all work out pretty neatly. Alright, so another 45 on my timeliness bonus. 14:02. According to this, we're already a minute behind, but once again, I think that has something to do with passing the point that we're supposed to be at. So we'll see if that changes once that happens. There we go. We got about 50 seconds back, but we are still a little bit behind. And I don't know that we'll be able to catch it, but we will drive this train as well as I can drive it. That's all I can promise to do. So this was the segment where they were doing some work on the last leg when we were coming up here. Alright, so we're still 17 seconds. But again, we have 2 miles. So the hope is that we can push things a bit and make up some time. We've already made up 4 seconds. Looks like we're going uphill a bit. So even power 2 just keeps us at pace. So if I can do that, then I can stay regularly above 60. And then that should eke off a few more seconds here and there. And once again, maybe stopping a little bit early gets me a little bit more savings like it did. Just really pressing the envelope a little bit here. I'm kind of watching my speed. Alright. I was going to say, I don't know that I want to be above. So I think I can be almost a mile over, but not entirely sure. So, alright, we've got to get down to 50. So let me make sure I'm doing that before I get there and have a problem. So there we go. I'm getting comfortable that I feel I know how to operate the train at this point, which is good, because that's a far cry from what I was feeling not too long ago. Although, kind of forgetting I need to stop here. So we're going to make this a bit of a hard stop, but we should be okay. So there we go. We'll let this cruise in. And we'll stop it, and we will go from there. So, 1 second. 1 second off. I'd say that's pretty much on time. I don't even think train timetables would consider that late. Alright, I think this is only like our third or fourth stop, so we've only just begun. And I am surprised that these are as far off as they were. That because I would think we can get 1,000 points if we're perfect. I think is the best you can do in any scenario. So I'm assuming this is somehow going to add up to that, but then that would mean at 45 something's going to have to give, and we're going to have to suddenly be getting more points. Because with 23 opportunities for points, that's not enough. Once again, I do need to be careful that I'm not overextending myself here and going, speeding and getting other penalties, because that would obviously then just create a different problem. Alright, so that should... Alright, so we're still green according to the little sound guy. Slowed down too much there. That's not good, because that will now require me to do something a bit different here. But I can stop at any point now, so we will do that. But yeah, now we're somehow 25, 26 seconds. So, timetable's getting tighter. Less room for error, and I'm making them. So, absolutely not what I'm looking to be doing. But hopefully I can get things back in order here. And once again, I think in the center, when we hit Birmingham, we've got an opportunity to kind of turn things around if it does the same type of thing. But we'll see. Because right now, again, we're adding a lot of time. We're almost a minute ahead, and now we're 23, 24 seconds. So I definitely have got some work to do to try to bring this back in line. I'm hoping I can do it. Not quite sure how I lost that much of a float, because now we're at 29 seconds, 30 seconds. We're probably still going to lose a second or two more because we're only at 45, and some of it is obviously with the speed changes we need to do. That doesn't help. So I'm just trying to be careful here. Shoot. Lost a little bit there. I was trying to stop it, and it failed. So... Alright, so we need to be below 55, which we are. Oh boy. That was not good. That was not good at all. 20 seconds. I mean, I made up time, but that's not how you want to do it. Whew. Because, I think I almost missed the platform. If I go to my external camera. Yeah, that's not good. Alright, so I think at this point that probably is my time. I don't think it's gonna reset in any way, because I'm already far enough down the path. Alright, so we're gonna go 55, and then we're gonna hit 45 before we know it. Alright, there's our 45. We'll just kind of keep nursing the brake a little bit as we go in. But yeah, as we get to these stations here, they're so close together, there's just a lot happening. So you definitely need to pay attention, and it's difficult to kind of keep up a stream of conversation in that case. Okay. So we need to get down to 35 and 0.10 miles. I think we'll be okay here. Alright, yep. Should be good. Speeding up a tiny bit. Going in the tunnel. And then we'll be stopping at Sutton Coldfield. Oop. Almost speeding again. Must be careful. And at this point, probably should start applying a good amount of brake. Oh, this is that green and black station that I liked so much. So, a little bit of a flutter there on the ground. A little bit of a graphic problem of some sort. Not quite sure why or what, but come on. Yeah, it's almost like pulling in and giving it an easy stop is almost worse. Alright, so I can only go 35, but I've got 60 right up there. The question is, will I have accelerated by then? I probably will have. So far I've lost 2 points, I think. Or 4 points. And only 44 instead of 45. So we are decreasing our abilities to gain time here. So let's see. Yeah, we're 40 seconds over. Just got to be careful that, again, I don't accelerate faster, but I think I'll be okay. 35, 60, there we go. So we can just keep it moving. Another mile away. And nothing to slow us down between the next 2 stops. So I can get all the way up here to 60. Just trying to see the best way to do that without running the risk of running past things too quickly. Alright, so that'll speed us up a bit. Will that keep us? Yes, that will keep us at speed. Slow us down a tiny bit. But now we want to start slowing down. But yeah, we're 40 seconds out. That is a lot. I'm doing everything I can, and it is not enough. So I'm going to let this go. And then we'll stop, and we will get moving. Alright. So let's see. What do we have? When does Birmingham come up? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 5th stop. I don't know. I don't know that I can stave it off till then. Because I think once I get a minute behind, I think then I'm getting penalties. Alright, well, we still got 45 there. So less than 3/4 of a mile. This is basically speed up and then slow down. Again, it'll flip a little bit, but see, we're already 43 seconds, 44 seconds. I'm literally doing, I'm power 4. I can't do anything faster. So it's almost like I need to come in hotter and put on brake 3. Because again, I'm not getting any penalties for stopping fast. And certainly, being a commuter on passenger rail myself before, it's not as if they're always gently rolling into the station. So, let me see. So that was like 0.25 or so. So we'll see. But yeah, we're 44 seconds, but we had to come in pretty hot to do that, so. But again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to be in Birmingham by 14:28. And actually, I wonder if it's... Oh goodness, I have to couple a car? Oh boy. Whoops. That's interesting. That could mess me up a bit. But we'll see what we need to do, I guess. But yes, we have to couple a car. It says on the front of us, which seems like, I guess that means we need to then change cabs or something. Guess we'll see. So yes, I'm trying to stop a lot earlier to again gain some timeliness bonus, but again, I think I'm just playing games with this at this point. At this point, if we get 45, alright, so I'm going to look at the keys, because how do I couple? Manual couple. Shift and Control and C. Okay, I knew there was C involved, but okay. I mean, I think if we just pull up to it slowly, it should do it on its own, but I wasn't expecting that. That might be why it's a challenge, because it's less of a time issue than it is not messing up when you're coupling and then messing up your time. But hopefully when we get there, we have enough time. I'll look at the next platform. Like, do we couple before Birmingham or after? Alright, so we can see the other station already. Gravelly Hill, or Gravelly Hill, I'm not sure which one it really is. But we can go 60, so I just need to pay attention to that. And then we're slower in between the other stations. Alright, 0.68 miles. Alright, so we're right at 60. Go a little quicker. Not much quicker though. Gotta be careful there. But it looks like, yeah, we're going downhill a bit. So I gotta keep that in mind too for my attempt to stop, because I'm sure that's gonna affect me a bit. Because I'm sure there's some gravity involved. It's a long platform, so we should be good. Here we go. Alright, so the coupling takes place between the Birmingham platforms. So we'll have to see how that all works out. Alright, still plus 45. So that gets us to where we need to be. So we may... Alright, it doesn't look like it's going to drop down. Oh no, it did drop down some time. Well, which it needed to, actually, now that I look at it. But yeah, we can only go 50, so I need to make sure I'm careful with that. And drop down to 40, then to 20. Alright, so power 1 is still moving us along here. Half a mile till we need to be down to 40, so we've got a little bit of ability to coast here. Alright, so that'll slightly speed us up. So we'll start slowing down here. There we go. That'll give us that. Hit that at speed. Alright, and then just being careful that we can get down to 20 here. Because that's less than 0.1 miles, so there it is. So slow down a bit more. And then, okay, so we're coming in, yeah, this is that point where we curved off. So there's not really a great way. Whoops, I gotta be careful. I did go speeding. Shoot. Because I knew we'd get to 45, but it didn't happen. early enough. So, lost a couple more points, but if that's all we do, that's not too bad. Is the next one Birmingham, or do we have one more? No, the next one's Birmingham. I just don't know that that's... No, this next one is the long one where it's a 4-minute. But we've got a couple... I hope we don't have to, like, go look for it. I assume it's, like, going to be on the track. Also trying to remember what the camera is for coupling. I know there is one. I suppose, again, I can pause and take a look at things. Alright, so it looks like we can only be at... Oh no, it's 20 going on the other track to the side, but we're not going that way, so we can get to 30. And then ultimately to 70. All good things. We're about 33 seconds ahead, so that's good. We're not doing terribly that way. Just trying to be really careful and cognizant of what I'm doing. Alright, so we can get up to 70, but then in about half a mile we can only be at 60, so probably not likely to be going much faster than 60. Although obviously if we can, we may push it a bit, but at this point again we're 0.4 miles away. I'm thinking that's going to be really, really close. So yeah, at this point I think we just leave it at well enough alone and leave it at 60 and then do that a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. Going by this platform. And then, alright, gotta be at 50. So getting ourselves slowed down there. So we're going uphill a bit, so power 2 gets us. Now I think we're flattening out, so that might start... Whoop, 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 whoop. I didn't notice that. We gotta be down at 30 pretty fast here. So let me... There we go. Alright, and then I think we start going downhill, so we're probably then going to start gaining speed pretty quickly. So just want to keep that in check. But I think we're good. Ah, shoot. Too many button presses. So lost 6, but... Alright, good news is we're on time. So that's always a good thing. Again, we're going to start going downhill, so we're probably going to start gaining some speed. We are. Too many things. I've got to turn off the automatic warning. I've got to do all this. I don't know why it's going off at that point, because otherwise I would have been fine. Alright, so we got to get ourselves down to 10. So there we go. so we're still going downhill a bit. Alright, so at this point, 10.1, about 12 seconds behind. So let's see if I go to 10.5, if it gives me anything else. Whoop, let's see, I tried to do a little bit, and then look what happened. Crazy me. So, it looks like literally between those two platforms, so I'm going to try to pull up enough that I can see this car that I need to couple with. I assume that's it. Alright. So now let me try 6, 7. What's the couple camera? I know there's one. Oh boy. So I'm going to pause. Okay, that's supposed to be the coupling camera, but looks like I'm looking at the platform. So that's what I'm confused about. In order to be ready for the rush hour, you now have to couple the unit in front as extra capacity will be needed when the train returns. Request permission. Oh. How do I do that? Request to pass signal at danger approved. Okay. I had read something about yeah, this is not helpful. Release the passenger doors again and change cabs. Okay, so there we go. Oh, because now I need to... Right, so let's see. So at this point, so yeah, we were only 27 seconds, so I think that all worked. I'm assuming we got some points for doing it. But yeah, the coupling camera did not work, because that is not helpful. So... And I tried to like move it with the mouse, you know, because normally you can like do that, but it's not doing anything. I see. I hit the side arrows, and then it was obviously pointing to the couplers. So I don't know, but... So yes, I think it was because I hadn't moved the controls in 60 seconds. I think that's that alerting system that does that. So I should at least be in spitting distance of being able to get to 750 here. So I may have a good little starting point. Let's see, we'll put it in power 2. But when are we supposed to leave? 12:33. And we were like 14:29:57, so we were like right there. But we'll see how that all plays out. So this is definitely a long stop here. You can definitely get familiar with the line. I will say that. I'm definitely feeling like I know how to get into the stations. I know how to do other things. Yeah, this may actually take off. Well, it's still only 42 though. So I was going to say we were well ahead of 14:33. So again, we can only go 10, but I do want to get moving right away, so we'll get ourselves a little bit extra, and then I think again we're going to have to leave at some point and go uphill. But right up there, it looks like we'll get to go 20, which is a great thing to be able to do. I would love to do that, because 10 is really, really slow. But I understand we're in town, so I don't know why I felt like I needed to hit the brake, but it just was one of those. Oh, let me turn on my lights. All right, almost there. Okay, speed up a bit. I've got 3/4 of a mile till the station. So I'll just slow it down a bit so we don't blow past it. Looks like this will creep up a bit at a time. Hopefully a bit enough that it won't. Alright, now we should be good. Then we'll be at 30 before we know it. Although probably not before we know it. Looks like it's going up about 1/10 of a mile every car, so we should be okay. There we go. And then we can only go 30 before the next stop, so once again we'll get ourselves in the position to be successful. So we're slowing down a little bit, but that's okay. Do that. 1/4 of a mile out. Going through many tunnels as I think we're passing under the city. But now we're only going 30, so we don't have to slow down too early. So there we go. And again, we're a shorter train, so it should be workable. Alright. So we're early, but we're also far back on the platform. So let's be honest, it probably would be close to that if I drifted all the way to the end. But being over 600 I'm pretty excited with that. Five ways. I'm wondering if there's like a five-way intersection here or something, and that's why they call it that. All right. So we continue to get plus 45, unless it gives us some giant bonus at the end. I don't know that you can get to 1,000, because you'd need... Well, no, actually, I guess you could. 20 times 50 would be 1,000. Silly me. So, maybe you could. Anyway, let me... While I'm trying to do math, let me not blow by what I can do on the train and then have a bigger problem. Because at this point, yeah, we are a little bit behind again. Surprise, surprise. So we'll get up above 30 a bit, and then shortly we'll be able to go 50. So I think we're climbing a bit here. It's hard to tell, but it's kind of what it looks like. So we've got 1.34 miles to that university platform. But yeah, certainly learning the stops a bit. It's a line that's familiar. I'm sure that's why it's kind of a base one. I believe it was included with the with the game. I was not paying attention. I was too busy talking. But luckily I lost very little, so I'll take that as a blessing. 0.83 miles. These trains are quiet, with them just being electric. Be interesting how much louder a diesel would be. Obviously I did it in training, but I don't recall how everything worked at that point. Alright, half a mile out. Don't have to slow down. So we will continue here till we get significantly closer, and then we'll worry about slowing down. So there we go. We'll put on a heavier brake here. Loosen it off a bit. And that should allow us to drift in here. Very nice flower planters that they have. We'll just leave it on this, because at this point it's telling us we're just going to be a few seconds late. So we'll just do that. So we can always speed it up later if we need to. So this should get us a little bit above 90, 690. So I think by now we'd probably for sure be at 700 if not for my penalties. Shame on me. But once again, I think we just need to be at like 750. I think there was one scenario when I looked at the achievements, and it might be this one, that you need to be at 850 to get the bonus, but I think we still have a shot at that. I'm hoping we're going to be in the high 900s, honestly. Alright, so we can be 50, and then we can be 60. 3/4 of a mile, so we've got a close stop here. That's the part I haven't really learned. Probably should spend a little bit of time looking at the map somehow. Okay, I think I had left my control on too long, so that's what that was. So just had to move something. And that's the part I think that's gotten me in trouble before, because I was like hitting the Q key and that doesn't clear that. So, go ahead and brake a little harder. It's an interesting sound. I'm assuming that's the other train getting ready to go, but maybe not. I don't know. So I'm going to pull this forward a bit faster, because once again, I'm not liking how this is lining up. Now we're finally on the platform. So now we should be good. And we're close to the leading edge here, so that obviously gets us a little bit closer. So 25 seconds. Not bad at all. But yeah, I think when I've had the issues in the earlier scenarios where suddenly the emergency brake threw itself on, I think that was what it was, and I didn't realize that I needed to change a control because I just basically had it maxed out at power the whole time and hadn't changed it. And so then it isn't happy when you do that. All right. So a little bit over a mile. But definitely a very busy line. One of the things I did pick up was South London, which they said was the busiest rail system that they have. So see, now I know how to do this. So I think I basically have every thing that can happen to me, at least in the general scenarios, kind of understood now, which is good, because that was a problem I was having. It was like, this is happening to me and I have no idea why, and now I do. Alright. So, blinking yellow. So we do need to be careful. So we must be catching up to the train in front of us, which means, you know, we're only going to be able to do so much. I think I may have slowed down too much, because this is now, yeah, we're like going up in time, which is not what I want. But we should be good now. So, third car on, fourth car on. I assume the fifth car is on. That's really close. That's a tiny platform. But 28 seconds. But we are what? Step 19? Yes. So we've got 4 more stops. We were able, when we were 45 seconds ahead, to make it work. So I am confident I can continue to get time bonuses. But yeah, I think once we get past 8:50, that's really what I need. Again, I move that on purpose so that it gets something and I don't have to do it in the middle of the run. So I think, yeah, that's the danger of maybe moving the throttle up too fast. Is, you know, I'm basically sitting at the station for 45 seconds with the throttle fully engaged, which is then why that system, I think that's the alerter system. See, but now I have to keep track of which sound is which, because I almost didn't hit the key. Alright, again, blinking yellow. Probably because we're at that point where it's 45, or not 45, but it's blinking yellow. So I'm sure that's why it alerted us twice. Alright, so that'll get us there. Power 2 will get us a little bit quicker. Alright, yes, lots of speed changes here, so I need to be vigilant but not be foolish. Because, yeah, I'm now 30 seconds. So I wonder if we're switching. We are going that way, which is why it was 30. Alright, and then we need to slow down. Need to stop before this first car goes too far. Alright, so we were a little over 30 seconds. Alright, so this should get us, what, 8:26, if it gives us 45 again. And then the next stop would get us above 890 or so. 870. It'll get us above 850. How about that? Alright. So 1.43 miles. So maybe we'll get, I mean, I hope we get more at the end if we're on time all the way at the end. Because, yeah, now it almost doesn't seem like we quite have enough to be, and I don't think we've lost more than 15 or 25 points, so I would think we should be there at like 975 would be what I would be targeting, but I guess we'll find out. Alright, so I was going to say an hour and 18. A mile, 1.18 miles. Silly me. So yeah, that higher pitch beep is that I didn't move things. So we're green now. We're not catching up to things anymore, which might just be because we switched tracks. Alright, so I need to pay attention because I'm coming up on 70 here. And we're also coming up on the station, and we're going pretty quickly, so definitely want to start slowing down so that we don't run the risk of having a problem. Now it's yellow, so I think we were then hitting things pretty quickly. Alright, so that'll slow us down. We are, what, 38 seconds, 40 seconds ahead? 35 by the time we got everything fixed up. Is then the next one? Oh no, we have 2 more. So, okay, so we can get, in theory, 90. Yeah, so maybe with the penalties, that's where we were at, and we might get about 960. So not quite as high as I was hoping, but yeah, now I'm like afraid to set my speed to not get the alarm. So I think those are the double signals because they're close enough, so I think both are yellow, is what that's telling me. So it's telling me not only the signal here, but the next signal ahead is also yellow. So, and that might be once again because we're, you know, well, now I see if they've got to slow down to 20 and so forth. Yeah, those may be, it may be kind of bottlenecking things a bit, but then obviously we're going to have to go through that same thing, so. got to be at 45, but we also have to be stopping, so that's okay. So we'll keep moving ahead for a little while, because again, alright, we'll definitely be slow enough. We just might be burning into the station faster than I would like, but no, I think we're actually okay. Because, yeah, usually if I'm 30 by the end of the platform, it'll give me enough that I can do what I need. Alright, put on the heavier brakes a little bit here, because now we should be stopped already. Alright, 871, we'll be at like 916. So we may not even hit 950. Wow. Barely hit 950. I didn't think I had that much penalty, but clearly I did. But the good news is, unless I mess something up, even if it's 850 to unlock the achievement, I should be there, and that also should give me... Okay, next stop will be Bromsgrove, end of shift. That is a good thing. Oh, that's right, we only can go to 20, so let's not go crazy. Because we're switching tracks here is what's happening. But once we do that, we'll then be able to, and we might switch 2 tracks. Guess we'll see how that all goes. No, we're staying here. So we'll coast along here. 6 miles, goodness. Alright. I didn't remember that being that large, so I'm sure I'm going to have to move the throttle a few times. Okay. I'm trying to figure out, yeah, ours should be green. That's an overhead, not a... I guess it is slightly over to the side. It just looked like it might not have been us, but it is us. But at this point, we're right on time. But that's also because we can be going 90 and we're only going 60. But we'll get up there, and that will help us. Yeah, I saw some of the lines. I don't know if it's anything that I had purchased that lets you get up to like 230 kilometers an hour, which is crazy. I think it's like 150 miles an hour or something. Oh, we're connecting up here. 75, still 5 miles. Going 80 miles an hour. I just somehow thought we'd be closer. I mean, it's fine. Ooh, it's like a freight train there. Haven't had one of those. Alright, keep an eye on my speed. Slow down a bit, because I just want to be careful that I don't go too much past. Alright, so we lose some speed. At power 1, we're almost keeping it. Gotta be at 75 there. So, just have to pay attention about when we think we want to slow down. So we're at, what, 1 mile from 75? So I think it's only 15 miles an hour that we have to slow down, so I don't want to overreact. It just seems like, ooh, I've got to slow down, so I need to be careful, but it's actually not that big of a difference. Okay, now we're yellow, so we're probably catching up to things. probably do want to start slowing down though, because we are still going 90. So we're going to cover that distance a lot faster than we think we are. So I do have to keep that in mind. It was hard to tell, like, did we have a signal or not, but... Alright, so I think we're going to start going downhill here. And obviously that will speed us up some, so I'm backing off. So we got a blinking yellow. I see ya, I see ya. Alright, so now we can go 80, then we can go 90, and then we can quickly go 40. So I guess we better be careful, because we're also only 1.5 miles away. Gotta be careful to not start speeding here. Ah, shoot. So I'm losing more. Talking about it, and then it caught me anyway. This incline is substantially steeper than I think it appears is the problem, because I'm literally just letting the brake off and then I'm nearly hitting it. Alright, well, we do have to get down to 40. So let me hit the brakes a little harder. I don't want to suddenly have a problem. As it sits, I'm already creating myself a problem. Alright, so we'll do that. Alright, so we're at 39. Slow down a bit. And that's our final platform. Maybe we'll get 55 at the end like we did. That would be nice. In theory, we're early, according to this. Can't go past the red, so... Again, it's past the end of the platform a bit, so... Should be okay. There we go. We're actually early. So if it gives me 55, I'll be, what, at 9:57? I'll take it. Especially after the last fiasco. But that is it. It is going to be the end of my shift. So, very pleased with myself. Nice work. You can sign off now, go home. You deserve a break. Alright, 9:57. So there we go. Got 957 XP, and yes, so I had to be at 850 for this one. So obviously I lost 43. Yeah. That's disappointing. It's a lot more speeding than I thought, but although maybe you can't get to a full 1,000. It doesn't look like actually the first one might have been 45 too. I thought the first one was 55. In any event, I think we were 22, now we're 23. Not quite sure what that gives us, but if I go here, there we are. We've got a gold star, so we've got check gold, check gold. That's kind of how we're going. Alright, next few are short, so should get them done hopefully in the next few days. I think I've got some time, but we'll see if I come back here, do something else, but I'll see you next time.